Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you a multi-font title layout using my October 2017 kits from Cocoa Daisy. This is the layout that I created. It is an 8.5 by 11 layout. You can see the picture there that I printed on a full 8.5 by 11 piece of photo paper. It's a matte photo paper, and the picture is a picture of a reflection of my daughter jumping rocks down by the river. And I chose a bit of a contemplative quote to be the title and really the journaling of this layout. And the quote says, "Plant dreams, pull weeds, and grow a happy life." And I thought that the succulents that came as the exclusive pattern papers in this kit were perfect for the plant theme of the quote there. So I cut the long strip of that 12 by 12 exclusive paper, and I had to create some of my own leaves to the succulents because the paper continued and I wanted it to just be a border to fill that white top there. And I really wanted to include this orange end of the paper there, and by doing so you can see that there's a bit of a white hole underneath, so I'm going to need to get creative to fill that white space because of the way that I've printed the picture there. So I sped this up because it's literally just me fussy cutting the white border away to create the border for the top of this piece of paper there. And so you can see in how I've decided to space this, how it leaves me a little bit down the end there, which also leaves me a few succulents that I can fussy cut to fill in that white space that's at the, you can see it right there by those red pictures in there. I had put the picture on crooked, and so I had to, not the picture, the succulent border on crooked, so I had to pull it up. So there you can see the extras from that border that I fussy cut. As I have them there, they're a little too far down, so I needed to really tuck them in a little higher up in order to not cover too much of the rock, so that you can see the surface that she's moving from one rock to the other. And these are not tightly adhered down. They are loose to give a little bit of movement to the page. So you can see I keep trimming a little bit to just have enough to cover up that white space and not obstruct too much of the photo. So that is the top half of that white space above the photo filled, and now I need to do the bottom. And I have to apologize that the picture is off the edge of my camera here. As I mentioned in a video earlier, I believe it was a Cocoa Daisy video, I have changed my video setup and didn't realize that I was as zoomed in as I am. So I have a piece of pattern paper that fills the bulk of that space there, and then I cut from the 6 by 6 strip of succulents, I cut that, and then I overlapped another strip the same size at the very bottom, and you'll see that as I move everything up. There we go. So that you can't tell that, because the pattern paper is very busy, you can't really tell that I've overlapped it and it's not a contiguous 8.5 wide piece of paper there. So that's where I join those two together. And then I'm just going to use my X-Acto blade to trim off the excess there because I don't need all of that. I like to clean as I go, so you'll see me just get rid of a few scraps there. And then I knew I wanted to use this One Canoe 2 pattern paper, so yet more fussy cutting. I'm going to fussy cut these out and put them, originally my thought was on the right hand side and that those flowers would be able to cover that log that is floating in the right hand side of the photo, but it looks much better off on the left hand side there. So I've planned that that's where that's going to go, and then I want to create my title. I knew that I wanted to showcase all the different letters that come in this month's kits, and so I was going to do variations of the various letters to create the title / phrase that I was putting on this layout. And I'm just taking these chipboard letters and deciding how I'm going to lay out this title, because it is very long and I need to space it out. So I thought I was going to do plant dreams and use plant in that dark brown font, chipboard font that comes with the kit, but it's very dark and it is a little bit difficult to see. I thought that I would use this label and that could, I would fussy cut out the label and then that could nest some words, but using all of the letters and having them work took a little bit of playing and negotiating. I also wanted dreams to sort of be a little bit more whimsical, so I thought plant in that pinky salmon color would be perfect, and you could see it much better up the top there. So that is what I stick with for plant. And you can see I put away my first idea and have to pull out a couple of letters, and I liked that chipboard heart, and again that sort of gave your eye a resting place and drew your attention to the beginning of that phrase there. So now I've gone to my silhouette and I cut out dreams from the white, and then I cut out grow from that sort of that salmon-y color. And then I'm going to fussy cut this and get this all squared away so that I actually know how much space I have to play around with to put the title in. I am a physical therapist by day, a scrapbooker by night, and I know that if you do your work close to your body, that it's better for you and ergonomically better. So I struggle to get things done under the camera, but also to do them in ways that, especially if I've been filming for a while, are not going to hurt my back. So you see me sort of move things in and out from the camera, not intentionally. It's more just to preserve my back. So I cut these out, and I was silly in that I cut the sturdier elements first and left the flimsy ones for last, and I probably should have approached that in a different way, but it doesn't matter, it all gets done. And then I'm pulling out those blue letters. They're not blue, they're green, sorry, forest green letters, and again putting them on wax paper to sort of line up and see, am I going to cut all of the flower or just part of the flower? And I believe I'm putting pull weeds. Originally I was going to put that there and cover up so that it just had plant dreams up the top, but it made it a little bit busy. So I end up shifting that up to the top. So that piece of paper that I just set to the side had happy. So I had thought I would create a banner out of it and then back it so that there would be a banner that said happy life. Again, I wanted a little bit of whimsy, but it was very difficult to see the happy with the small font that I had chosen. So I was going to have to find another way to do happy. So I decide I'm going to do life from the brown chipboard letters. And but first I want to commit to these things and get them down. So I like to stick the top half of my letters onto the structure or the paper that I'm sticking them on and then pull the wax paper off the bottom. But because I'm just sticking them directly onto the picture and I couldn't pull them up because I used matte photo paper. I didn't really want to risk getting them knocked down the way that I wanted and having to pull them back up again. And so this is the word dreams that I cut out from my silhouette that I'm sticking directly onto the picture. And you can see I'm struggling a little bit with. I think I had adhesive on my fingers, and so things didn't want to stick. There we go. Take 3 is successful. So now we've got plant dreams and using that to smush that down a little bit. And then we need to work on the rest of the title there. Oh, but we got to fussy cut a little bit more of this plant out of here. I love the way that this One Canoe 2 coordinates with the exclusive elements from the Cocoa Daisy kits this month, and continues really with the plant and the nature theme. The color schemes are perfect for fall. So there is the flower. I still have little bits of the flower that I need to cut out, but it allowed me to sort of line up how things were going to go. I really wanted the green up there, but it was very difficult to see. So you will see that I do go in later and actually pull those letters up, and I'm going to just put a small salmon, that same salmon color that you see on the right hand side that I cut grow out of. I will back pull weeds with a small thin banner so that it is a little bit more distinguishable and easier to read, and gives a cohesive whole to the layout. So I sped through the rest of this fussy cutting. You can see how I end up with some flimsy parts, but it's okay. It makes it actually a little bit more malleable to make it fit on the page there. So there's the rest of my garden that I'm growing and planting on my layout there, and then I have the letters grow. And as I was sticking the letters down, I remember that there is a succulent die cut in the exclusive die cut pack from Cocoa Daisy, and I wanted to use that as the O. And then I pull out these chipboard letters that I mentioned earlier. Again, the point of this layout for me was to showcase all of the different letters that come in the kit. So I'm committing to and I'm going to get these green letters from Evalicious and spell out happy. I love these letters from Evalicious. I have them in many colors from the kits that I've gotten over the years, and they come in handy for lots of titles and title work over various layouts. And there's the brown from Cocoa Daisy Exclusives. So we have the whole title there that says Plant Dreams, Pull Weeds, and Grow a Happy Life. And I'm going to use that same salmony pink A after grow to complete the title there. I do go in and journal, and I believe I do that off camera, and the journaling just says, rock hopping at Belle Isle, what a great way to spend the day. And the date is on the back of the layout. So that is it for this layout. I'm going to call it good in a minute. There are some close-ups to follow. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the box below. Thanks for stopping in today and joining me. Take care. See you next time.